Hello friends. Welcome to our channel Credence Investments, technology-driven mutual funds research and advisory. In this video we will analyze the top-performing equity small-cap funds over following periods: 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 year, 7 year and 11 years. We will be comparing funds on 10 very important quantitative parameters. By the end of this video, you'll understand what these parameters mean and how they can be used to analyze mutual funds for your investments. This video will be a little longer, but a lot much more informational. Hence request you to not skip parts of the video and watch till the end to get the maximum benefit from this video. Hence before looking at top fund, let's understand these 10 terms. 1. Absolute return. Imagine you invest 1000 rupees in a mutual fund. After a year, it's worth 1200 rupees. That's a 200 rupees, or 20%, gain. Absolute return is simply how much your investment has grown in total, no matter what happens in the market. 2. Expense ratio. Think of this as a small fee you pay for investing in a mutual fund. If the expense ratio is 1%, it means for every 1000 rupees you invest, 10 rupee goes toward fund management. Lower expense ratios mean more money stays in your pocket. 3. Alpha. Alpha is like your investments report card. If a fund has an alpha of +2, it means it performed 2% better than expected, benchmark. If it's -2, it did 2% worse. You always want a positive alpha. Higher the alpha, better it is. 4. Beta. Beta tells us how risky an investment is compared to the overall market. A beta of 1 means the fund moves with the market. If beta is greater than 1, it means the fund is more volatile. If beta is less than 1, it means lower volatility. 5. Sharpe ratio. This tells you if the returns you are getting are worth the risk you are taking. A higher Sharpe ratio means better returns for the risk involved. Sharpe ratio of 1 to 3 or above means greater returns from an investment, but with a higher risk level. 6. Sortino ratio. Sortino ratio is like the Sharpe ratio but focuses only on the bad side, how much risk comes from negative returns. It helps investors see how much downside risk they are taking. Higher Sortino ratio, better is the investment. Sortino ratio greater than 2 is considered to be good. 7. P/E ratio. This is a quick way to check if a fund is expensive or cheap. If a fund has a P/E of 20, it means investors are willing to pay 20 rupees for every 1 rupee the company earns. A high P/E means high expectations, but be careful, it could also mean overpricing. Generally, overpriced funds have a high P/E and underpriced funds have a low P/E. 8. Portfolio turnover. This tells you how often a fund manager buys and sells stocks. A high turnover means frequent buying and selling, which can lead to higher costs. A low turnover means a stable, long-term strategy. 9. Total number of holdings. This is the total number of stocks or assets in a fund. More holdings mean more diversification, which can reduce risk. But too many holdings can also lower potential returns. 10. Top 5 holdings percent. This shows how much of a fund's money is invested in its top 5 stocks. If this percentage is high, it means the fund is heavily dependent on just a few companies. A lower percentage means better diversification. Now that you have understood the terms, let's see the top performing funds for last 1 year based on these parameters. The image presents a table listing the top 20 small cap mutual funds based on their percentage returns over the past year. The table includes details such as fund names, launch dates, NAV, net asset value, on 1st January 2024, NAV on 6 December 2024, and the percentage return for each fund. Key highlights. Top performer. Bandhan Emerging Businesses Fund Direct Plan Growth leads the list with a 49.01% return. Strong performers. Motilal Oswal Small Cap Fund, Direct, Growth, 47.99%, and LIC MF Small Cap Fund Direct Plan Growth, 42.67%, are the second and third highest. Other notable funds: Invesco India Small Cap Fund, 41.16%, and ITI Small Cap Fund, 39.6%, also delivered strong returns. Lowest among top 20. Baroda BNP Paribas Small Cap Fund recorded a return of 27.03%, still a strong performance. Observations: the funds launched before 2020, such as Nippon India Small Cap Fund and Kotak Small Cap Fund, have maintained consistent growth. Newer funds, like Motilal Oswal Small Cap Fund, launched in December 2023, have delivered impressive returns in a short period. The percentage returns of all top 20 funds are above 27%, indicating strong growth in the small cap segment. This summary highlights the best performing small cap funds for 2024, helping investors identify potential investment opportunities. Now let's review the 10 quantitative parameters we learned earlier for top 5 of these 20 funds. Bandhan Emerging Businesses Fund shows the lowest expense ratio, highest alpha, lowest PE ratio, and strong risk-adjusted returns, but it has high turnover and concentrated holdings, 44% in top 5 stocks. Motilal Oswal Small Cap Fund has high PE, expensive valuation, but strong diversification and low expense ratio. LIC-MF Small Cap Fund has the highest expense ratio. Invesco India Small Cap Fund offers good risk-adjusted returns, low volatility, and high diversification, making it a balanced choice. ITI Small Cap Fund has the highest turnover ratio and broad diversification, reducing risk but high expense ratio, relatively lower alpha. Now let's look at 2-year performance comparison of 20 small cap mutual funds, showing their net asset value, NAV, growth from 1 January 2023 to 6 December 2024, along with their respective percentage returns. Top performing funds, highest returns. Bandhan Emerging Businesses Fund Direct Plan Growth, 132.67%. ITI Small Cap Fund Direct Plan Growth Option, 114.75%. Mahindra Manilif Small Cap Fund Direct Plan Growth, 114.68%. Invesco India Small Cap Fund Direct Plan Growth, 105.00%. Nippon India Small Cap Fund Growth, 96.38%. Key observations. Top funds. Bandhan Emerging Businesses Fund led the list, with an exceptional 132.67% return. Strong overall performance. Many funds delivered over 80% plus returns in 2 years, indicating significant growth in the small cap segment. Old versus new funds. Some relatively newer funds, example Mahindra Manilif, HSBC, have outperformed despite their recent launches. Well-established funds, 10 plus years old, like Franklin India, Nippon India, and Quant Small Cap also showed steady and strong performance, above 90%. Moderate performers, below 80% returns. Kotak Small Cap Fund Growth Direct, 77.40%. Aditya Birla Sun Life Small Cap Fund Growth, 75.86%. Axis Small Cap Fund Direct Plan Growth, 74.21%. Canara Robeco Small Cap Fund Direct Plan Growth Option, 71.58%. Final takeaways. Small cap funds have delivered high returns over the last 2 years, led by Bandhan Emerging Businesses Fund. Diversification and strategy play a role, with both newer and older funds performing well. Investors should consider risk, expense ratios, and volatility along with returns before investing in small cap funds. Now let's review the 10 quantitative parameters for top 5 of these 20 funds from last 2 years. Bandhan Emerging Businesses Fund stands out, with the best risk-adjusted returns but higher concentration risk. Invesco India Small Cap Fund is another strong performer, though with a higher valuation. ITI and Nippon India Small Cap Funds are relatively safer bets due to diversification. Now let's look at the 3-year performance of 20 small cap mutual funds, showing their NAV, net asset value, on 1st January 2022 and 6th December 2024, along with their percentage returns over this period. Top performing funds, based on returns. 1. Bandhan Emerging Businesses Fund Direct Plan Growth, 120.09%. 2. Mahindra Manulife Small Cap Fund Direct Plan Growth, 114.49%. 3. Quant Small Cap Fund Growth Option Direct Plan, 110.82%. 4th ITI Small Cap Fund Direct Plan Growth Option, 109.53%. 5. Nippon India Small Cap Fund Direct Plan Growth Option, 109.22%. Key observations. 1. Bandhan Emerging Businesses Fund leads with the highest returns, 120.09%, over 3 years. 2. Mahindra Manulife Small Cap Fund, 114.49%, and Quant Small Cap Fund, 110.82%, are strong performers. 3. 10 funds delivered over 100% returns, reflecting strong small cap growth. 4. SBI Small Cap Fund, 76.34%, is the lowest performer among the top 20 but still shows solid gains. Final takeaway. 1. Small cap funds have delivered impressive returns, with the top funds more than doubling in value. 2. Investors seeking high growth should consider top-performing funds, but should also be mindful of volatility and risk. Now let's review the 10 quantitative parameters for top 5 of these 20 funds from last 3 years. 1. Bandhan Emerging Businesses Fund is the most aggressive with high concentration and strong risk-adjusted returns. 2. Nippon India Small Cap Fund is the most diversified and has the lowest turnover. 3. Quant Small Cap Fund has a higher expense ratio but reasonable risk-adjusted returns. 4. ITI Small Cap Fund has high PE and turnover ratios, which could indicate a more volatile approach. Now let's look at the 5-year performance of 20 small cap mutual funds, showing their NAV, net asset value, from 1st January 2020 to 6th December 2024. Key highlights. Top performers. Quant Small Cap Fund Growth Option delivered the highest returns, 620.7%. Significantly outperforming others. Bank of India Small Cap Fund, 425.65%, and Bandhan Emerging Businesses Fund, 424.69%, followed closely. Nippon India Small Cap Fund, 383.94%, and Canara Robeco Small Cap Fund, 370.78%, also generated stellar returns. Mid-tier performers. Funds like Edelweiss Small Cap, 351.75%, Tata Small Cap, 347.59%, and Invesco India Small Cap, 334.09%, also showed strong performance. Kotak Small Cap Fund, 313.12%, and DSP Small Cap Fund, 296.03%, maintained consistent returns. Lower-tier performers. Funds like ITI Small Cap Fund, 230.53%, Aditya Birla Sun Life Small Cap Fund, 208.85%, and UTI Small Cap Fund, 191.38%, had relatively lower returns but still performed well over 5 years. Observations. 1. Older funds, launched before 2015, such as Quant, Nippon, DSP, Kotak, and Sundaram have shown superior long-term growth. 2. Newer funds like Bandhan and ITI Small Cap have gained momentum despite their recent launch dates. 3. High NAV growth funds like Quant and Kotak suggest strong portfolio strategies, while diversified funds like Nippon and Franklin India Smaller Companies Fund provide stability. Conclusion. 1. Investors seeking aggressive growth may consider Quant, Bandhan, and Bank of India Small Cap Funds. 2. For balanced risk-reward, funds like Nippon, Canara Robeco, and Edelweiss Small Cap could be good options. 3. Moderate performers like ITI and Aditya Birla Sun Life Small Cap still offer solid long-term potential. Now let's review the 10 quantitative parameters for top 5 of these 20 funds from last 5 years. 1. For aggressive growth and high conviction investing, Bandhan Emerging Businesses Fund is a top choice, given its high alpha, strong risk-adjusted performance, and focused portfolio. 2. For stability with moderate returns, Nippon India and Canara Robeco small cap funds offer a lower beta and diversified holdings. 3. For high growth potential but higher volatility, Quant Small Cap Fund is a good choice due to high returns but comes with higher risk. 4. For a balanced approach with a mix of value and growth, Bank of India Small Cap Fund provides moderate risk-adjusted performance with a higher PE ratio. Now let's look at the 7-year performance of 20 small cap mutual funds, showing their NAV, net asset value, from 1st January 2018 to 6th December 2024. Key highlights. Top performing funds. Quant Small Cap Fund Growth Option Direct Plan has the highest return at 473.66%, making it the best performing small cap fund over 7 years. Bank of India Small Cap Fund Direct Plan Growth follows closely with 462.94% returns. Bandhan Emerging Businesses Fund Direct Plan Growth secured the third position with 424.69% growth. High growth funds, above 350% return. Edelweiss Small Cap Fund, 409.76%. Tata Small Cap Fund, 383.34%. Invesco India Small Cap Fund, 375.82%. Canara Robeco Small Cap Fund, 357.14%. Moderate performers, 200 to 350% return. Axis Small Cap Fund, 307.44%. And Nippon India Small Cap Fund, 303.87%, are among the notable funds in this range. Kotak Small Cap Fund, 270.83%. HDFC Small Cap Fund, 234.87%. And ITI Small Cap Fund, 230.53%, offer solid returns with moderate risk. Lower performing funds, below 200% return. UTI Small Cap Fund, 191.38%. Sundaram Small Cap Fund, 152.84%. Aditya Birla Sun Life Small Cap Fund, 117.55%, the lowest performer in this list. Conclusion. 1. For aggressive growth seekers, Quant, Bank of India, and Bandhan Emerging Businesses funds are top choices with over 400% returns. 2. For a balanced risk-reward approach, Axis, Kotak, and Nippon India Small Cap funds offer solid long-term gains with relatively lower volatility. 3. For conservative investors, Sundaram and Aditya Birla Small Cap funds provide steady but lower growth. Now let's review the 10 quantitative parameters for top 5 of these 20 funds from last 7 years. For aggressive investors seeking high alpha, Bandhan Emerging Businesses Fund and Tata Small Cap Fund provide superior excess returns with controlled risk. For low cost, stable growth, Tata Small Cap Fund and Edelweiss Small Cap Fund offer low expense ratios and lower volatility. For active investors favoring high turnover strategies, Quant Small Cap Fund and Bandhan Emerging Businesses Fund frequently rebalance, which can be beneficial in volatile markets. Now let's look at the 11-year performance of 20 small cap mutual funds, showing their NAV, net asset value, from 1st January 2014 to 6th December 2024. Key highlights. Top performers with highest returns. 1. Nippon India Small Cap Fund led the ranking with an astonishing 1,531.23% return, growing from 12.37 rupees to 201.79 rupees. 2. SBI Small Cap Fund followed with 1,412.02% returns, 13.74 rupees to 207.78 rupees. 3. Axis Small Cap Fund provided 1,131.11% returns, showing strong growth from 10.19 rupees to 125.45 rupees. 4. DSP Small Cap Fund and Kotak Small Cap Fund also crossed the 1,000% return mark, highlighting their impressive long-term growth potential. Strong growth across the board. 14 out of 20 funds delivered over 400% returns, proving the long-term wealth creation potential of small-cap funds. 2 funds launched before 2014 dominated the list, showing the power of early investments in small-cap stocks. 3. The newer funds, launched after 2018, still showed impressive returns of 191%, 469%, indicating strong recent performance. Consistent wealth creators. 1. Franklin India Smaller Companies Fund, 960.47%, and Sundaram Small Cap Fund, 801.36%, maintain strong performance over time. 2. Quant Small Cap Fund, 706.28%, proved to be a strong long-term performer. Conclusion. 1. Nippon, SBI, Axis, and DSP small cap funds emerged as leaders with over 1,000% returns in 11 years. 2. Small cap funds have demonstrated massive wealth creation potential for long-term investors. 3. Early investment in well-managed small cap funds yields high rewards, making them a compelling choice for aggressive investors. Now let's review the 10 quantitative parameters for top 5 of these 20 funds from last 11 years. Key observations. 1. SBI Small Cap Fund offers a balance between low volatility, low expenses, and strong risk-adjusted returns. 2. Nippon India Small Cap Fund is an aggressive performer, with high alpha and diversification but higher turnover. 3. Axis Small Cap Fund stands out for stability, with the lowest beta, making it a low-risk option in the small cap category. And that's it. Now you know these important terms used to analyze the mutual funds. You have also learned how to apply these to analyze mutual funds. I hope we gave a comprehensive analysis of small cap funds from a short period of 1 year to a very long term of 11 years. Keep in mind that this video is only for educational purpose and is not an investment advice. Kindly speak to your investment advisors before making any investment decision. Thanks for watching. For such interesting insights and regular updates, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Press the bell icon, like, comment and share.